Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hayley Manners and I'm so happy you're here on my channel today. If this is the first video that you've ever seen from me, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. We have a family of over 3,000 girly pops that are part of this channel and I'm so excited that you're here. And hopefully after this video, you'll consider joining. If you're a returning subscriber or viewer, welcome back. Today, this video is all about you guys because a couple days ago, I put on my Instagram story, ask me anything, and I put it all over every single one of my socials, like ask me questions, ask me anything. I wanted you guys to be nosy and you guys really came through. So I'm gonna be answering all of your questions that you have for me today in this video in a very unfiltered chit chat style video. As always, give this video a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed, and let's get right into it. And just a little disclaimer, this is like totally random. Like there is no sequence, no order, no categories. I am just firing off the questions that I have written down from you guys, and we're just gonna go through it that way. So first question is, what is the best motivational quote that you've ever heard in your life? When I tell you I had to really sit and think about this one, you guys, I really pride myself on being somebody who is motivational and an inspirational figure to anyone watching my content. And so I think I've actually mentioned this on my channel before, but I actually used to post a motivational quote every single Monday on my Instagram story. I called it Motivation Monday, and genuinely I would look up different inspiring quotes on Pinterest and I would make a cute little graphic and I would post it every single week like clockwork. So thinking back on even those days and everything that I've learned in the last couple of years just from other people or things that I've seen in my own experience, one quote that has really stood out to me after all this time is, if somebody else has it, it's not unrealistic. I just really feel like that quote ignites the fire under my butt, if that makes sense. Like literally somebody else out there already has something that you have on your bucket list or that is a big goal of yours. So it literally means that it's possible already. Why don't you go out there and work for it? Chase after it. I don't know. It's really something about that quote though that just makes me want to write down an entire list of things that I have to do, reset all of my goals, like clean my room, I don't know, anything. But yeah, if somebody else has it, it's not unrealistic, and really that just makes me think like I can do it too. Number 2 says, what is my vision with ProTrackletes? So yeah, I'm actually really glad somebody asked that because I feel like I've kind of swept her under the rug lately, which was not fully intentional. I mean, I have been kind of having a summer, really getting back on my feet, just kind of navigating post-grad. You guys have been watching the series, like, you know, I've been doing a little bit of everything. And so I kind of lost focus with my community at ProTrackletes, and I'm honestly working on building that up as we speak. It was one of those things where I had like a ton of motivation a couple months ago because the idea was fresh. Things were moving and I had time to like really pour into it, but over the summer there was just so many things going on. Kind of lost track of it, and now I'm kind of starting to get that fire back and ready to really pour into it again now that I've found my stride with my new job and my new routine. So there will be lots of updates coming on that soon. But in terms of my vision, what I really want to do is unite the community of track and field athletes, professionals, current, aspiring, former, whatever the case may be, through things like mentorship, resources, and even just like igniting conversations in the world of track and field. What I've done a lot of recently is posting different thought leadership articles, which you can find on our website and also through our LinkedIn page. The next big move that I'm really excited to start is a podcast where I'm literally going to be talking about all things professional track and field, what it's like to transition into that space, speaking to pros that are already doing the damn thing. Like, I'm so excited to dive into that, and there will be lots more to come. I hope that it grows into something big and you guys will be there for all of it, so stay tuned. Number 3 is, what is my background? I mean, I'm Canadian and I'm mixed, obviously. My mom is white, my dad is black, and part of my family is actually from a small little island called St. Kitts and Nevis, which I've actually never been to before. It's definitely on the bucket list, but yeah, your girl is Canadian through and through. I grew up there, I love it there, and now I live in America. Next question is, what do you hope to be proud of in the next 5 years? I also really had to think on this one because I was like, Gosh, there's like a lot of things that I hope I could be proud of, but what I narrowed it down to is really just to be proud of who I'm becoming. It sounds a little cheesy, but honestly, like to pinpoint one little thing here and there didn't really feel right. I just kind of feel like overall, I would love to be proud and be able to look back and be like, wow, the version of me right now would be so proud of how far we've come. And if I'm being so real, if I could ask the version of myself in 5 years, like, for any piece of advice, I would literally be like, can you please tell me if the things that I'm worried and stressed about now are actually that big of a deal? Because I feel like they're not. But at the same time, when you're living it in the moment, it feels like it's the end of the world. So I would just ask my future self for some wisdom in that regard. But outside of that, yeah, I really just want to be proud of who I'm becoming and how I'm leaving my mark and impacting other people around me. What was my biggest challenge as an athlete at CMU? Love this question because I feel like not a lot of people ask me about my time at Central Michigan, because I feel like I really only started posting content as an athlete at UCF, and you guys have really only seen the injured version of Hayley, which makes me so sad, but whenever I get the chance to talk about my time at Central Michigan, I'm always excited to. But I would say I was honestly really fortunate during my time in undergrad competing as a track athlete at CMU, because I genuinely did not deal with anything extreme on the injury side. Like, I definitely dealt with a couple of pulled hamstrings, like that's very common in track and sprinting in general. I've always had tendonitis problems, whether it be in my patella or in my Achilles, and you guys obviously know how that escalated in the last couple of years. But at CMU, like, I was really lucky. I felt like I didn't have to deal with anything crazy on that end. So when I think about what my biggest challenge was, I feel like it was my freshman year when I was adapting to the college training lifestyle. For any of you that don't know, I only started training in track and field like seriously in grade 11. So 2 years of high school where I actually took the sport seriously and somehow was able to go D1 out of that. I'm like, how did I do that? But I never once lifted in high school. I had no idea how to fuel myself. I didn't know what recovery meant. Like, I didn't know any of that. And so coming into college, where all of a sudden we had 6 a.m. lift, we had 2 workouts a day, and I had to go to all these meetings and, academic stuff, like, I was very much overwhelmed by all that. And as many freshmen are, I had to really adjust during that time. And I think the combination of me being an international student and then not knowing a single person in Michigan, so having to make friends and doing all these things, it was a big overall lifestyle adjustment for me. And so I feel like that was probably my biggest challenge. The next question, I'm obsessed. I love it when you guys ask me about this, but any advice that I have for aspiring creators out there? When I was thinking about this question, I was honestly like, okay, you can be consistent, be disciplined, be yourself, like blah, blah, blah. But everybody always says that. So I'm gonna tell you something real. I think if you truly wanna be a content creator and have that potentially be your job someday, you need to treat it like one. And I know that my mom is gonna laugh at this part when she watches it, but I was literally just on the phone with her telling her that I need to sit down and film this video because I've been posting every single Sunday for the last however many months. It's been a long time since I've missed a Sunday, and I really treat this like it's my job, making sure that I upload for you guys every single week. And here I am filming this on the Saturday evening before I'm gonna post it in less than 24 hours. So yes, I am treating this like it is my job because I refuse to not have anything to upload tomorrow just because I procrastinated or because I've been putting it off. I really feel like I want content creation to turn into something more, and that's why I'm treating it in that manner and being so disciplined with making sure that there's a weekly upload for you guys and that I'm interacting with your comments and promoting my video on different platforms. Like, all of those things are what's gonna help me achieve this next level of success in my content. So for anybody out there who wants to do a similar thing or wants to get started in hopes of pursuing content creation on a bigger scale, definitely treat it like a job, because at the end of the day, it is one. And people can argue with the wall, but content creation and being an influencer is a job. and it's definitely not the hardest job in the world. It's probably up there for one of the easier ones, but it is a real job and it requires a lot of different skills, and it really is something that you have to get good at over time through practice. And so for anyone out there who wants to start taking it seriously, definitely come up with a plan, treat it like a job, and be disciplined with it, because I feel like that's really the only way that you can have success with it. Next question is, why did I want to work in sports? This is a really fun question. I honestly don't have that deep of an answer for it because I've just grown up around sports my entire life, and I could never imagine not being involved in sports. And so that's why I decided to work in them, because I just can't imagine my life without sports in that capacity. And obviously I've been an athlete for my entire life, playing everything from basketball, volleyball, doing dance, gymnastics, and ultimately landing on track and field. But I've also just known that someday my career is going to come to an end, and it literally pained me to think about how not having sports in my life would feel, and so I decided to get a job in sports. So here we are. Next question, what is my dream travel destination? I really have two answers for this because I feel like you need one tropical and one like adventure-y, so that's what I'm gonna go with. Tropical vacation, I've always wanted to go to some place like the Maldives or Bali, where it's like this uber tropical like little villa in the middle of nowhere with perfectly blue water, white sands, just good overall vibes. Definitely that is on the bucket list. When it comes to the more adventure destination, I think Europe has always been on the list as well. Like, I just had this conversation earlier, but I feel like after undergrad, everybody from my high school went to Europe, and I was just like watching the stories like, oh my gosh, I want to go. But I've never had the opportunity to, so it's definitely on the list. I want to go to all the different places, like big cities like London, Paris, Rome, like all the quote unquote basic places. But I also just want to go to the beach, try a bunch of good food, and meet all kinds of new people, learn about new cultures, all that good stuff. What is my go-to coffee order right now? Honestly, I don't know if I've shown it in my vlogs a ton, but I'm obsessed with pumpkin right now. Yeah, call me basic, whatever. I just started liking pumpkin flavor maybe like 3 years ago, and I've just been hooked every fall. So I literally bought the Starbucks version of the pumpkin creamer in August, like before any of the fall menu items at the actual store came out, because I was just so excited. But I would do a ice shaken espresso, whether I make it at home or I go to Starbucks or some other coffee place, but I would do espresso over ice, shaken with whole milk, pumpkin creamer or cold foam or flavor or whatever it is, and cinnamon powder. That is like my go-to right now. What is something that I'm excited about? You guys, there's so many things. I don't know. I just feel like this is the best time of the year. I have really turned into a fall girly. I don't know when it happened, but I've just started embracing like the fall season and everything that it has to offer. Football that's on my TV right now in the background, pumpkin flavors. Like, I was literally about to say the weather gets chillier, but I live in Florida, so scratch that. But I don't know, I feel like there's just so much to look forward to in this season, and I think one thing that really stands out this year in particular is TS12. And yes, I know, I like Taylor Swift. I'm a Swiftie. I feel like I really just started liking her for real, like actually listening to all of her music maybe this summer, the first summer of the Eras tour, because I started learning about, you know, Taylor as a business lady and like all her Easter eggs and stuff like that. And I just had this massive admiration for her. And then I started loving her music. So it just kind of snowballed from there. But she's releasing a new album on October 3rd. So I'm stoked for that. This will be the second album that I'm like actually invested in for its release. I remember staying up until midnight for Tortured Poets Department, and it was so exciting to just like sit there at night and listen to all the new songs. And that album was like a sad, like depressy breakup type of album, and so I feel like this one, The Life of a Showgirl, is really just gonna be like upbeat, glitter, gel pen, pop type songs. So I'm very excited to see. And hopefully we get a couple of music videos too. Next question is, who is my NFL team? I actually love that somebody asked this because I've also been talking about this recently too, but I did not grow up watching the NFL, you guys. Like, nobody cared about football in Canada because we have the CFL, which love them, but nobody watches that respectfully. And I don't know, I just didn't grow up in a football household, but now that I've been living here in the US for the last 6 years, I've learned the game, and honestly, in the past couple of months, I have kind of developed a little love for a couple of teams. So I have a few answers to this question. The first one are the Bucks, because I've been to 2 Bucks games, and honestly, that's the only NFL stadium that I've been to. So I have some love for them. They're in Florida, you know, that's kind of like my Florida team. They're also pretty good. Like, the 2 games that I went to were wild card games, I think, and I feel like they won both of them. I can't remember. It was recently, so I don't know. My next team is the Bills, because I feel like Buffalo is the closest city to Canada and also where I'm from in Canada, so it's kind of just like that northern connection. I'll just support the Bills from afar. I don't know anything about their team except for those pictures that I saw when it was like flooded with snow, but you know, I'll cheer for them. Go Canada. It's basically the Canadian NFL team. The Lions are my third team, because obviously I lived in Michigan for a number of years, and so everyone would be talking about the Lions, and honestly, I didn't really care back then, but now that I actually kind of watch football, I'm like, okay, kind of mess with the Lions. And then lastly, this one's a little far-fetched because it actually has nothing to do with my geographic location or really knowing anything about the team, but I am a Chargers fan now. I love the LA Chargers social media team and their TikToks and how they involve pop culture into their content and how they interact with players. I think it's hilarious, and genuinely, like, before I was even an actual football fan where I would like sit down and watch different games, I'd be like watching their TikToks because the players are actually funny. And when they are talking about Love Island on the Chargers account, I'm like, okay, what do football players really know about Love Island? Like, it's so entertaining to me. So those are my 4 teams, because y'all were curious. Make sure you guys tell me what your team is in the comments. When was the last time I went on a date? So it's actually not that long ago. A real date though, I would say, like dinner and like, you know, get picked up and all that, was probably in June. So yeah, it's kind of been a minute. It's September now, which is kind of crazy, but yeah, that was the last time I went on a date. And last question, how is my new job? I love my new job, you guys. I am so grateful for where I'm at, because if anyone out there is dealing with the job market right now, you know how much of a mess it is, and I would not wish anyone to be part of that, because it's ridiculous. Like, I feel like it sucked the life out of me, and maybe that kind of contributed to the summer that I was having before I got hired, because it was just stressful all the time. Everyone is looking for a job right now. Everyone is qualified, so it's just really hard to get in somewhere, but I'm really grateful that I landed with the job where I'm at, because it is flexible, it's exciting work. I get to take the lead on multiple projects, and I get to use my knowledge while also learning a ton at the same time. And so I feel like I could not ask for anything more, and this is honestly a great way to start full-time work. Like, I couldn't have asked for anything better, if I'm being honest. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm so happy that we were able to sit down and chat like this again. In the next couple of weeks though, I will say I have lots of vlogs coming up, because your girl is getting into some new side quests, and obviously I'm gonna bring you guys with me. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned for that. Subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and you guys know I'll see you next weekend. Toodles!